welcome to QuestJunkiesUK. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and we are brought to you by the kind support of CZRPG, Phoenix Dice, Trollord Games, and Nathrax 3D Minis. Look out for your chance to win in our fabulous giveaways. Check the session for today's giveaway. And, of course, you can get yourselves a lovely discount over on their homepages using the coupon codes that will pop up in chat. Do not miss this amazing stuff. CZRPG with their beautiful encounter design, maps, a fantastic Patreon for you to join. Phoenix Dice, their incredible, sustainably produced, recycled packaging and everything. The wonderful Click-Clap Math Rocks, do check them out. Trollord Games with their incredible Castles and Crusades original system and lots of D&D content as well. And the beautiful 3D printed and beautifully painted, if you wish, minis of Nathrax 3D Minis. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Please check them out and let them know that the Odyssey sent you. Now, let us also say a huge thank you to the wonderful people over at Sirenscape. Amazing music and sound effects for your games, and just makes the whole experience a completely different level. Check them out, stuff for D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, other game systems, board games, science fiction, fantasy, everything you need. Link in chat for your chance to get a free trial of this amazing product. Now, let's get into the session. To adventure! Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to QuestJunkiesUK. Welcome back to the Lurkwood in northern Faerun, and welcome to a section of that forest known as Walker's Woods, and all of the fey nasties that lurk therein. I hope everyone is doing wonderfully and is having a good time, and it's lovely to have everybody here. Thank you for joining us already. Good to see folks in chat, and to my players as well. Zakan will be here in just a moment, emerging from the starry void that is there at the moment. But just a second on that. So, welcome in everybody. Hey JR and Bard of Bronze, welcome. Good to see everybody in there. Hey Rumblejacks. Okay, so as we get rolling here, let me say one more special thank you to our wonderful friends over at CZRPG. They have sponsored a very special giveaway this week, much larger than their usual offerings here. We have some awesome one-shot little locations that they like to give away on this channel here, but this week, in celebration of the release of their latest Kickstarter, we have the incredible bundle that is Amazing Encounters and Places. A huge bundle. I can actually show it to you. Let's get the cover over here. Sorry, this will be off center for a second. Boop. Let me fix this. Fix it. Look how professional I am. Okay, so yes, here we go. Amazing Encounters and Places. 8 different locations, from mountains to swamps and coastline to floating islets in the sky, each with a bunch of different encounters in them, 56 encounters in all, and all of the maps that come with them. They're sold separately in different bundles, but this is the entire bundle, all of them together, 64 beautiful maps. And you know, if you are a regular here, how lovely those CZRPG maps are. Actually, that might be one lurking behind the screen right there. And we are giving this away to one lucky winner each stream this week. So if you are able, good luck. John, it looks cool, right? It does look cool. It is cool. I have it. It's very cool. I can promise you that. I have looked through it already. And again, you can play them as one-shots, or there are through storylines that tie the encounters together in each location, or there is a massive, overarching storyline that you can use to tie all of it together into one whole campaign. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Massive thanks to CZRPG for sharing that with us and allowing us to share it with you. Now, let me pop it out the way so we can see Michael and Buns. There they are again. Hello. Okay, sorry, you were lurking behind the giveaway. And everyone, the entries for that are open, so ! Enter in chat for your chance to win all of that cool stuff. Right, now, everyone, as we are jumping into things here, let us remind ourselves just what is going on with our group of adventurers here. Last time, here in Walker's Wood, our adventurers went down to the woods today and made their way through the gnarly trees and dark undergrowth and spidery webs dangling here and there. And as they proceeded through the dark forest, they found themselves at a henge, a collection of old sacred stones with a sad, sad history, as the bones of children lay strewn about, and the spirits, the restless spirits of those children, emerged to greet them, and became rather attached to our adventurers, shall we say, as they now have, in nice Japanese ghost fashion, a little backpack of a ghostly child on their shoulders, as they have promised to, as requested, please take us home. And as they proceeded forward into the forest, looking for the homes of these ghostly children, they found something else lurking here. The Briar King's first line of alarms and defenses, as a mandrake root started to scream and yell from the dirt at their feet, alerting the vine troll, the skeleton of a troll animated by vines and flora winding up through its skeleton bones. It came tunneling up out of the earth and attacked our party, but they were able to defeat the creatures, and that is where we found them, and where we find them today as they continue on through the wood towards the Briar Palace and the king and his army at its center. So, let us meet said adventurers going across the overlay as we see it here. Elora, who are you in real life? Who are you playing? And where are they at? Oh, muted. Oh no, just the wrong mic selected, I think. If you go, I'll skip to Kalo. If you go on Zoom, if you go and check the right mics selected, you'll need to change it to the headphone mic. Okay, so Kalo, how about you?
Hi friends, I'm Mike, you know me as Graham in the chat. Tonight I am humbled to be joining the rest of my co-stars tonight to be reprising the role of Kalo Falu, the half-drow paladin of Ilastrae, who's currently on his last legs after a bit of a fun encounter with our enemies, with a fresh child backpack looking to find their way home and his way to the Briar King.
Okay, thank you. Now, hang on, I'm getting some strange messages in chat here. Phantom, better had completely restart Twitch? Is that on your end or our end? It's like, what? Is everything okay? How are we looking and sounding, folks? I hope it's okay. I see an inspiration for Kalo. There you go. Everyone has one each, except me. Oh, okay, Phantom. Good. You scared me for a second. Okay, right. So, how are we doing, Sam?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I play Elora. She is a high elf assassin rogue from Mithranor. And she is begrudgingly going on this mission that she feels is kind of another favor she's being forced to do for people. But she'll follow the party.
Indeed. Come on, it's for Prince Darendil and his.
Not helping. You're not helping.
And Corbin, please.
Hey everybody, I'm a Buns. At least I am in the real world. Here I play Corbin, our changeling monk / druid, and resident beastmaster. Though I have not taken that feat or that level yet. It's
Just
coming. We all know.
Naturally became.
It's right. It was on purpose, just like when they walked into the Underdark. And right now they are currently on purpose going towards another danger, the Thorn King. It's great. It's fine. We had an amazing time yesterday. And I say yesterday because that's how It feels like yesterday. I've been haunted by our choices for the past 2 weeks.
I'm sorry to make you. No, sorry to extend your torment by a week.
I have passed without a trace. We've been doing amazing. We're fine.
Yes, Corbin's been doing amazing. Let's be honest.
So, excuse me, I was being lax with our shout-outs there. Corbin can be found over there at Battlescar Bunny, getting some cool Twitch stuff going on, and Sam can be seen DMing over at Sumasuda on occasion, and Mike is here on the Twitters.
Corbin's bananas. Yes.
Okay, and a delinquent cleric skulks into the mix. Zakan. I'd say, where the hell have you been? But I know because I met you.
I've been all over God's dang green earth.
Welcome back.
Hi folks, I'm Steven and I am playing Zakan, our Aasimar cleric / ranger who's been quite literally in and out of this plane.
We had a very good signal. You kept going flickering in and out. It was like we were going.
Yeah, it's hard with that sort of remote work situation, right?
You gotta get on dial-up,
a celestial plane, and
every now and then you just have to hit refresh on your cleric.
Better signal in the Underdark. Who knew they had better signal?
Yeah, they had good 5G down in the Underdark, so but getting away from that point.
The mushroom towers.
Yeah, it's all sprint up here. It's just not good. I don't know if that reference still works. I haven't lived in the States for over a decade, but is sprint still bad?
Sprint's still doing a sprint. Sprint's still
cool.
It's still sprinting.
Coincidentally, this episode brought to you by T-Mobile.
No. Wait, so
T-Mobile bought Sprint.
I was about to say, so you don't know what Sprint guy now does with T. They had a whole commercial thing about it. He was like, "I'm leaving." And then
oh, you sweet summer child, Steven.
Anyway, realistically, Zakan is here guiding folks in a place they do not know, but doing their best to apply their 100+ years of wisdom to follow their mission of taking people where they need to go.
Indeed. Now, if only like Zakan, in real life Stephen had greater restoration. He could have saved me from missing a week of streams last week as he watched me deteriorate into
got here rough shape.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
Apologies again. You travel all the way across the hemispheres and I'm falling to pieces.
Hey, you hugged just as good.
Good. Yes,
didn't deteriorate your hugging ability.
It was a pleasure, my friend. It was a pleasure.
Was the height as jarring as I wanted it to be?
Oh, I'm taller than John, so.
Stop! No!
So I just cradled him under my chin,
Stop! I'm gonna be so short.
Pat his head.
It's like there's Stephen, and there's my brother-in-law, who is Thug on Candlekeep Mysteries. Those are the only two people that can do that.
But he's already so tall. I'm gonna swing. The second I meet any of you, I'm just gonna start doing this. I have to. I'm so
Wacky con.
And we're used to it.
Wacky con.
Buns, my groin. What was that about?
Actually, Phantom makes a good point there. I think it is actually traditional for when you have a meetup of a streaming society, a group, as it will. This lovely community that we have. It is traditional to catch something nasty. at least it was. At least it wasn't something I could give to you and Josh. So that's good. Yes,
say that now.
Yeah, last week everyone, myself, Zakan, and GM Josh, who you know as Fushiro in The Hunger of Ithrin, and Tuln in Rime of the Frost Maiden, etc., etc. We had a lovely, well, I assume they had a lovely evening. It kind of passed me by a little bit. But
it gave me good character reference for how Zakan is acting with the whole weird divine connection flickering.
Well, funny
that, I felt like you were going to
Zakan. As you've been flickering in and out and been generally out of things, there's been a few things happen. In your absence here, while the cat's away, as they say, a fey bargain has been struck and everyone has an undead girl backpack. So, welcome back.
It wasn't my fault this time.
Weirdly, is Zakan okay with that? We'll cover it, but... Hey, it's getting someone home. That's the mission.
It wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Y'all understand? It wasn't my fault this time. It wasn't my idea to have walked over.
Let me see if I can bring up the art again, because Stephen was away.
I did see lovely spider manatees.
I'm sorry? Spider?
I did see the lovely spider manatees.
The spider manatees.
Oh, yes. There's... Also, Zakan, Webster was refusing to fight last time. They've gone conscientious objector.
That's fair, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We
Withhold
did not
your
have
labor.
enough gym badges. Unbelievably.
Buns JR's like, this time?
All this time I thought it was going to be Charcuterie that was going to go Charizard on me, but it wasn't. But Charmeleon.
Spoilers, Corbin, spoilers. Okay, now.
Spoilers for a 30-year-old anime.
No, spoilers for what's going to happen with Charcuterie.
Oh, okay.
Don't do this to me, John.
Nope.
I thought you meant like the whole Ash Charmander
You
relationship.
give me a hook horror. We talked about this.
Come on, guys! You've all played D&D for long enough and played with enough DMs that you know you're not supposed to say that kind of thing. It's like, I thought you were going to do this. Well, I am now.
Great, I'll take that idea.
Okay.
I mean, who knew they would be like
The notes.
and listen to me forever and ever and ever.
Notebook.
You're
Okay.
the only DM I've ever had, so I can blame you for.
Aww.
Yeah. All the bad behavior is just on you, as far as Sam knows.
Excellent. Yes. Your players' complaints department is at Phoenix UK. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, Raffle Jacks.
All right, and thank you for that inspiration roll, Jax,
Thanks,
before
Jax.
as well. Pour one out for John. I'm still here.
Stop telling people I'm dead.
I feel happy. Okay, so let's just return to they're called Mylings, Zakan. Mylings. There it is. When the DM starts laughing, it's too late. I know what I can do. I can do this. You are Stephen. Boop. Hello. In roll 20. There's a little myling. And so as Zakan kind of comes to and kind of comes back to their senses, they just feel this weight on their back, and as their mask slowly turns, there's just this emaciated, ghostly, pale face, and the eyes just meet. We're going home?
They blink and take a look around. Are there other ones attached to the various other companions? They're just sort of taking in the whole
One
scene.
for each.
It's a set.
And there's like a collapsed vine monster on the ground. And
There is, yes, there's a bunch of mouldering bones covered in vines.
Halos near
and
death.
leaves. Mhm.
So there's just a couple blinks, and after a long beat, they go, "Can you all see me?"
Fair.
I think when we left off, Corbin was like in the process of just beating the crap out this thing. Like, it's dead. They just have a lot of anger.
Corbin, I think it's been 15 minutes. It's okay to let it go. It's not okay to let it go.
Just let them have this.
You want some of what he's having? And then they go, what do you mean? Am I not supposed to be able to see you? If I'm not supposed to be able to see you, you are getting way worse at your magic.
What I mean is, am I physically here? I'm still a little split, but
Corbin's gonna come over and poke your face.
all right. Well,
They're
asked
tired
and
of
answered, I
They're tired
suppose.
of all of this. They like walk right over and just be like, yeah, you're here.
They pick some gross monster moss off their mask and flick it away.
Right, one of them, they're just like,
Your fists are just covered in it.
deep
What about
down
all
under
the-
all of this, but you're there.
Thank you. The spirit children, everyone can see them as well.
Oh yeah, you mean the backpacks? Loving them. That's
But they do
exactly-
look like spirit children, not backpacks, correct?
Yes, they look like spirit children. And apparently, we have to take them home.
Understood. Kalo, come here.
I think at this point, like, Kalo's been playing with the kid, even though he's like on death's door, but just kind of stumbles over to Zakan. Oh, I see you've gotten acquainted with everyone too.
Looking Kalo over, how on a scale of 1 to 30 points, how injured is Kalo?
I could be better, to be honest with you. A lot of it was Corbin saving us, but I'm here. I'm on a scale of 1 to 30, probably -2.
I see. And we'll go ahead and maybe just while we're gathering together, we'll do a prayer of healing as we're all standing here post-battle.
Okie doke. What's the details of that again?
Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range regain hit points equal to 3d8 plus 3. So let's see what we can get for folks here.
By the way, I'm slowly kind of letting folks know this as we go through the week and through the sessions. I made a decision on Monday. In the future, this campaign, until we're done with this campaign, we're fine. But in the future, as future campaigns and things are concerned, we are going to be switching to character sheets on Roll20 as well. So I'm slowly, because it's the only place that has all the WotC stuff and all the Cobalt Press and Humblewood stuff legally, all accessible to everybody. So I really want to have everything in one place, and it stops people having to jump off to D&D Beyond and then come back to Roll20, and you can just have the character sheet there on the screen, and it takes a few resources off my computer's end of things as well.
You only got 2 monitors?
Monitors are fine. It's just the processing power.
Yeah.
I have 3.
No,
I have a full D&D workstation here.
This is 20 points of healing to anyone who needs it.
Nice.
Definitely needed.
JR, you need a gap in there. Exclamation Roll20 with a gap.
And I think...
Yes, exactly, Phantom. Yeah, the money issue is also a thing. I'm sick of buying things 3 times.
Fair. Cool. Yeah, I was making sure this spell doesn't have that thing that's like you can only heal up to half someone's hit points. I think you can completely top people up with prayer of healing if you need to.
You love to see it.
And then just a shoulder on Kalo's hand as he's still struggling a little bit for another 7 hit points with healing hands.
By the way, Phantom, thank you for that subscription at the start there. I think a little spin of the wheel might be in order. Who would you like a spin to go to?
Oh man!
While we're here and taking a wee rest.
Bring it on, Phantom.
Stephen's been away for too long. He's missing the chaos.
Absolutely.
I need to get
Give it to
Roll20.
Alora, so
Need to get Roll20
so
suspense.
Alora can finally have it.
No, she might get miniaturized again. We will never hear the end of it.
Oh, Phantom! No.
Royal Rage.
Bless you, but no.
Kalo. Kalo.
I love you, man. Thank you.
Spinny spin. So, if you want Kalo, I can get revenge on Phantom on Friday, as he's going to be a player. And you could say thank you as well, as it's oops all con, so you get lots of HP, not just Sakan's. Sakan's prayer of healing and Phantom's prayer of healing as well.
Elistrai magic going in and just really buffs him up. Sorry.
Power of Elistrai compels you.
I think I'm still adjusting. Are you all right? You look hearty.
I'll fix that for you, Kalo. 2 seconds.
No, gotta be honest with you. Whatever you did just makes me feel so whole. I'm not sure how to describe it.
Oh, Sakan makes Kalo whole. Ship it.
Don't ship that yet.
Too late.
Bit of an age gap there.
Look at that.
What's 100 years?
91 HP. That's ridiculous.
All right, just throwing our boy into the front of any combat from now on. Off you go, Kayla.
I thought that was the whole point from the beginning.
I mean, that was already what we were doing, but
Baby tank.
but extra.
Okay. So yes, please proceed as you will, and Elora, I'm sorry, but say goodbye to your dexterity.
Oh yeah,
At least your crazy dexterity.
I had plus 11.
Yeah. If you refresh, that'll be like. You had me at hello. Is it raining? No one? Only me? Okay.
I missed that one. That's on me.
I hadn't noticed. It's horrible. It's from 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Like long, like old Hugh Grant before he was a D&D villain.
Oh shoot.
Yes, Corbin. Sorry, Corbin. You are no longer wise.
Ow!
Oh, my brain.
It hurts.
Ouch.
Corbin, you don't need an ability score to tell you you're not wise.
Right? My actions already did that. But why?
We're role playing,
I
baby.
don't think that was
happened?
commisseratory words. Okay.
But what happened? I was maxed out at 20. Where did it go?
It doesn't last forever.
Aww. And I was prepared.
The ship names are coming in now. Zakalo. Zakalo.
Zakalo.
Kayla Khan. I like Kayla Khan. That sounds cool.
You're all missing the opportunity, especially with all of the feather stuff, to say "Kakan," and I am just disappointed in all of it.
We were saving it for you.
Yeah,
Promise.
It's canon now, folks.
So,
Kakan, Zalo.
how would you like to proceed? I assume you're still using the remnants of your Pass Without a Trace?
All right, so it was kind of
Hey, Rishi, do
kind of a big reveal when we left out to having everything like put in the middle and seeing where it was. I don't want to go into battle with these kids.
And the one right on your shoulder there, Corbin's just like, oh, it's okay. If you take us home, nothing will attack you.
You literally have been warning me of things that have been attacking me constantly. I'm still not quite sure where you live, tiny annoying child. Is it just in the woods? Is it with the
This
king?
way.
What is this way? And that's what I've been doing. Like the last 2 sessions, every time one of them said this way, I've just gone a different flipping direction because they're not being specific.
They're pointing every time. They are pointing which way they're going, and they're just like, oh, sweet home.
Corbin, you got a way to go.
Yeah, no, that right. Yeah, my GPS is telling me to go this one. And before you say it doesn't exist, yes, my ghostly poltergeist fire does indeed exist, and it's pointing us this way.
Did it right directions? Did we miss a turn?
No, it's just being a little. No, it's this way.
Corbin, that's a child.
You're a child.
Wow.
Pointedly not.
Zakan, in
It is.
Corbin's defense, we did go into battle with children, so they've already been initiated.
Yeah, you already had a battle, yeah.
And seeing as they're not of this plane and, I believe, already passed on, I think a battle presents very little danger to them.
Yeah, actually, Zakan, your first sight of them was actually a little more corporeal than they actually look now, because you were still like slightly like 1 foot in the ethereal. You can see them more, even more substantially on that side of things across the barrier.
If you try to like put a hand like sort of on them, does it just sort of pass through?
Yes, yeah. But there is a resistance there, and if you tried to stop it, would be painful, and your hand would be ejected from their form. Yeah, because they have incorporeal movement, but they can't stop in solid objects.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Typical spirit stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they point the way. Would everyone like to give me a stealth check with +10?
Yeah, and we're still under enough cover of dark to where the Puafi, right?
Yes.
That's advantage, baby.
Thank you, Alora.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so how'd you go? Alora?
I rolled a 28, so that's plus 10, right? So that's a 38.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the Rogues,
Wow.
baby.
Wow. So
I was feeling proud of my 31, but
so
put me to shame.
if none of the rest of you rolled, you'd still have a group average of 10 from just Alora.
We have to all get natural ones to like undo it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Kayla?
18 for a total of 28.
Nice. Corbin?
21 for a total of 31.
Oh my god. Zakan?
31. It was a 21 roll plus 10.
3 above 30. Wow. Which makes an average of 32.
Oh my goodness.
Doing a full-on choreographed move through the forest.
It even beat Corey's passive perception.
I think
Oh,
actually
Corey,
the
no.
Mylings will be like it's okay if you'll take us home, we can shadow your way. And they just kind of slightly dissipate a little, but their shoulders and head and like their hair kind of floats out and dissipates, and the shadows kind of mistily kind of stretch out around you, and even with the magic of the Pass Without a Trace, it all wraps in on itself and just creates this almost impenetrable view. It's like, if this is like a cartoon, it's just like a cloud just moving along. Like 8 legs at the bottom.
I can see you just like sneaking like Scooby-Doo gang. We've all got our own little stance.
So, let's see what you sneak by. Could each of you roll me a d5? So roll a d10 halved.
Oh, okay.
I'll try. Can I do it in chat? Is that okay?
Either way, yeah. If you do it in chat, you can just roll 5, yeah. A 1. Okay.
Oh, you said halved, so it's a 3.
3. Okay.
Also a 1.
Okay.
5.
Thank you. Okay, so as you're making your way through the forest here, you realize you must be getting closer, and you're still keeping a close eye on the phase spider silk, which is guiding you. Zakan, this is how you found this palace. This Briar Palace is hidden by the forest, the magic of the forest. But our hag friend, the sister of spiders, she gave you a line of phase spider silk, which is both in the ethereal and material plane, and that is connected to the palace, and you are following it through the forest here. So again, I mean, and it is in the same direction that the ghosts are pointing as well. So it seems that they live near the palace. Now, as you make your way through the forest here, you start to become aware of the King of Thorns minions, even more so. This vine troll that exploded from the ground and attacked you seems to be the first line of defense, but as you go further in, you see other sights and sounds. First, you see, let's have a look here. They, Yes, you see a large humanoid figure, perhaps once human, but they have vines and thorns bursting through their skin and like wrapping around their arms, almost as if the plant life is animating a corpse almost. And this creature is just lumbering through the forest, and you all hear it coming and hide. And slung over one shoulder, it has an unconscious goblin, as it just goes crashing through towards the palace. It seems to be heading in the same direction you are. And then, having been unnoticed there, you safely wait that out and continue on. And then Let's have a look here. Something that's in a Cobalt Press book, so I probably have a token for it. I can show you. Yes, I can. So this is. I'm just going to put this on the map so I can show you what it looks like. You hear a horrible, just squelching, scraping, slurping sound, and you see two horrific creatures with a strange kind of glossy sheen to them, and as they come closer and kind of come by, they look like they're made of tree sap. These are actually two demons made of tree sap. Sap demons, if you will, because that's what they're called. Yeah, so I'm just hiding away all of the information, but I can show you the picture. Two of these just come scraping through the forest.
Oh.
And you first notice them as they emerge from trees, where they're kind of like keeping guard, it seems. And when the sap demon leaves the tree, the milky amber fluid oozes from the trunk and shapes itself into this small, vaguely humanoid form on the forest floor. And then the languid creature half walks, half flows forward implacably, following the path of the creator. In the text there it says to get its revenge, but these ones are clearly in service of the king here. And they just start flowing. Yeah, that kind of effect, kind of almost like that T-1000 effect, where they're just kind of, they're moving forward, but their feet aren't ever leaving the ground. They're just flowing across, like a slug's trail almost of sticky sap behind them. So yeah, nasty looking things. But with a stealth of 32, easily avoided. But they are small. They're little tiny demons.
Note to self, glad we didn't get caught in that.
Yes. And as you get closer to your destination, you start to see more and more of those kind of animated plant-like zombies and other creatures as well. You start to see vast mounds of plant matter and vines shambling, shall we say, around the forest floor as they are shambling mounds. And you see, what was those last couple of rolls? I'm going to put Kalo and Zakans together. You see a couple of large plant kind of zombies, like the ones you saw with the goblin, but much larger, much stronger. And they're just kind of like barking out some strange language commands that you don't understand. And there are a bunch of smaller plant zombie-like creatures that are being put through their paces, it seems, as it looks like the army of the Briar King is being amassed and trained to attack wider out into the forest. So are you just going to carry on following the thread?
We were told to follow the thread to the king, and I mean, yeah, like we see the king now, but is there a possibility that this would lead us just like a secret way or like a direct line to them? Would it be better for us to continue to follow the thread or find our own way now?
You think if you release the thread, then the magic of the forest will turn you about and you'll get lost. And
that's
yeah.
Okay. How did you ask? We would pick nothing else if you just let us keep doing the thing.
Okay.
That way.
Apologies. And you continue on past the various, amassing forces of the Briar King here, and it becomes more and more difficult. But luckily you had that amazing average roll there, because there are just more and more of these creatures moving around all over the place. And let's see, switch up here. And stealthily weaving your way through the patrols, you see ghostly shadows just drifting between the trees. More of those large troll skeletons animated by vines. Scores and scores of the zombie-like creatures. Shambling mounds almost moving around like heavy artillery, being accompanied by smaller creatures. You see the zombie-like creatures are made from all sorts of races. There are humans, dwarves, goblins, and you think maybe the goblin you saw being transported was intended to be created into one more of these creatures. And skittering and scampering about between all of them, you see hundreds and hundreds of children of the briar, the little thorny, pointed creatures skittering and scampering about the place. And at the heart of all of this tumult sits a dome of Stygian briars, a massive dome complex of black branches and vicious-looking thorns, but it is surrounded by a bunch of barrows, the burial barrows, these large grassy bulges with carved stone entrances of worked stone. And let me bring you over. Which I think... Get our man out of the way there.
Huh.
So you're not in the thick of things like here, but I'm going to put you
there
here to see. So this is what you're on the outskirts of. You're not where you are on the map there. So there is a large dome, and the scale's off here as well. It's a smaller. You're smaller than that. But you see this large dome of these twisted, tangled briars, and then surrounding it, you have these various burial mounds. And you're looking on this from the outskirts of the forest, and the small spirits that are still attached to you call out, "Home, home! Please take us to our rest. Do not worry. You will not be waylaid. You will not be accosted if you are taking us home."
Is it possible to gauge intent on a spirit child? Have any insight on the spirit child given?
Right?
Give me an insight check.
Right?
Yeah. Based on dealings with otherworldly beings quite frequently.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
Hey, if you got them, folks,
Hey.
those phoenixes fly.
Back, baby.
The words of the Myling seems to be completely honest and faithful. They are confident that you will not be attacked, and they want to be returned to their burial mounds.
So I think I'm masked to spooky child face, Zakan sort of looks at them for a moment and they say, "Tell me, what is your name, child?"
I was once called Daisy.
Daisy will get you home. And then sensing, I think, Corbin's unease, or maybe the rest of the group's unease, they turn to them and say, "They at least believe what they're saying is true, and we've already agreed to take them home, so as long as we are quiet and quick, we should be able to do it."
Will we lose our way if we try to bring them to their home?
You think now that you're here and it's right in front of you, you're okay.
Point us to where we need to go, Daisy.
And each of the things there... Thank you, Fansa. Each of the spirits points to a different burial mound. Please, climb atop the mound, that we may return with him.
You have a lot of instructions for someone who can't do nothing but himself.
We require the assistance of others, and you have our thanks.
Shall we move together as a group? One by one, drop them off?
I don't think we should separate right now.
Would that be
Agreed.
all right with you, children?
We
Do a sort of walking bus to your homes.
we just want to go home. Please, we're so close.
Oh, so I'm wrong because I thought we was about to eat these kids and these things. But if that's not what we're doing, like that's
It's
what
best
these
to
mounds are, right? If these are their
Yeah.
mounds, unless these kids are pointing to very specific mounds, again,
They
I
are
think
each.
that's
They're each
what-
pointing to different ones. Yeah.
Do we have to roll something to put them in?
No, if you want to.
Can we just head as a
Elora,
group towards the closest one, I suppose?
I'm about to say, I think we all just do it then, unless we have to do it simultaneously or in sync or in a certain order. I think we just do it.
It's up to you how you do it. They're asking you to do it simultaneously. Yeah, they're all each of yours. Like I'm just doing the one voice, but each of your spirits is clamoring for you to go to their particular barrow.
Yeah, we're gonna
so
follow.
Elora's yours like, please, this one, it's so close. Elora's yours is closest. Like, this one, it's so close. And then Kalo is like, over there, please, over there. And Buns and Zakan, yours is the same. They're pointing to different ones.
What if we all try to head with Elora to that close barrow,
Then
see if they get super upset?
yeah, Kalo, Corbin, and Zakan is like, no, this is not our home. This is not our home. Please, over there, over there.
I'll pour salt on myself and set myself ablaze. Just yeet.
If we all go to the respective graves at once, will that trigger anything? We don't have to go as a group, but if we all move simultaneously, will that change anything?
I'm standing in front of my mound and waiting for y'all to count down from 3 to 1 to yeet this child into this dirt mound. I don't get why we're doing it any other way.
Okay, so
Is Corbin just already gone?
Corbin is standing there and waiting for y'all to catch up.
But bye, Corbin.
Bye.
so yeah, you two up here.
I've been fighting with this child since it jumped on my back, and I'll take a leveling cleric to cleanse it to hell in a second if it doesn't get off of me.
And Elora, yours was the closest one, so it's that one there. So Kalo and Zakan, what's you doing?
Yeah, following suit with each child.
Yeah, we'll go to the barrows.
Okay. So I think Kalo, yours is this one over here. Thank you for all the subs, everyone.
Yay.
Oh, hype train! Choo-choo. Ghostly hype train.
We have things pending. Why are we pending spins? Oh Lord.
Yes, spins pending. There's one for Corbin and one for Zakarn. They're coming. I'm just sorting this out here.
No problem. Take your time.
Corbin. Just in case it's a nice oops or something, I'll do it before this happens.
Okay.
Wild Magic Surge. Whooped. Okay, roll me a D100 there, Corbin. Let's get that pre-rolled.
Okay. Cool. This D10 and then this D10. Move you out the way.
And crap, I missed it. What was the other one?
It was well.
Just like spanned the wheel and didn't look at it. Chat. What was the guns? Fussing. Sorry, I was getting things
I
sorted
saw a
for
wild
Corbin.
magic surge again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can double check it if you want.
Well,
You can
which case-
grant me disadvantage for the whole rest of the year if I'm lying.
well, I'd rather just have you pop out chat and stop looking at stream because it's my view.
Touche.
It was a wild magic surge. Thank you. Fancy.
Have my
I trust Mike, but just in case.
I I just have the chat out.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Corbin and Zakaran, a D100, please.
Yeah, I rolled a 66.
Okie doke. And
I'm terrified.
And so let's see. That's 83.
nice. Okay. Right. So,
Also,
yes. Thank you.
I gifted, and I'm giving it to Alora.
I mean, one each makes sense.
I mean, we're in a pretty
Shrink
wild
size.
magic
Shrink
area, I
size.
think.
Shrink size. Yep,
Too
it's another wild
much
magic
chaos.
surge.
Too much chaos.
Yahtzee.
Elora, what's your D100, please?
Chibi Alora.
Goodness,
No, not this time. Not
No,
this time.
Chibi Alora.
We do need to sort out a merch store sometime. Oh, so close to that level 2 hype train.
A 9.
9. Okay, thank you.
Oh. I always worry about the low numbers on a D100.
Yeah.
The extremes are always worrying.
I know, so yeah, the very high and very low. It's like it's like 50. Okay, so you all in front of yours, and they're like, "Thank you," and all of them, you know, almost like in the same at the same moment, they're like, "Thank you so much, thank you. Please climb to the top, climb to the top."
I think like Zakan's perception is flaring, like just waiting for any kind of nastiness to happen.
Okay, they're pointing to the top of the mounds.
Yeah, so we're gonna go up. We're committed to this. I think.
Yeah. I'm like,
You know what? For kicks
well,
and
you wanted to
giggles,
separate the party. I'm sure something really good is gonna happen right now.
right?
If we can't get to each other within the maybe 25 feet between us, I don't think we was gonna make it. Anyway.
Well, Zakan, if it helps,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than 25. It's these like I said, the scale's squarely on this. There are massed forces in here as well. And let's get your buddies are here, Corbin, at the bottom of the barrow there. But yes, as you emerge from the trees and follow on from what the children are asking, you see that there are these amassed creatures, like drilling and like marching around the place, and there's a couple of ghostly shades patrolling around, and they do see the Mylings on your shoulders, and they spin like aggressively when you first appear, but when they see the Mylings, they stop and step aside. So there's all these like big vine creatures and shambling mounds and things that all seem to be relatively ignoring you. And you all clamber up to the top there, and the spirits are just like, thank you, finally we can rest, and we can return to our homes. Home sweet home. Home sweet home. Home sweet home.
Okay, yeah, bye.
Won't you stay and play? And they start to sink through the top of the burial mounds and drag you with them.
Knew it, John.
What happened to our natural
Never
20
should have
insight
trusted
check?
you.
They were telling the truth. They wanted to go home. You weren't going to be attacked when you arrived. So there is a saving throw here.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we're in grave danger.
Oh
Hey.
God! Save those for Monday, Sunday. Okay. Yes. So as you reach the top of the burial mounds, the small like ghostly arms just like grip you in a vice-like grip around your torso, and you start to sink down. I would like all of you to either make, well, actually, before as this surprising and this effect suddenly triggers, the sudden fight or flight kind of kicks in, and several wild magic surges trigger. So, Corbin.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, please choose a creature you can see, enemy or friend, and you feel like you're going to take something from this creature.
Okay. So just pull something. So you're saying touch something and I'll take something.
Just choose something you can see, and it feels like you're gonna be taking something from them.
Choose something I can see.
Someone you can see, or one of the monsters is fine too.
Does this child count as someone I can see?
Sure.
I'll take something from them.
Okay. You take away 15 feet of their movement, and you gain 15 feet in movement.
Oh.
Very fast monk. Now. What does that put you at? Yes, 45 feet.
Yep, I was at 30, now I'm at 45.
Excellent.
Is this, you said it doesn't last forever, but it lasts for right now.
It is for the next minute. So yeah, for this whilst we're in thing here, D&D with me, raiding in with a party of 7. Welcome to the Briar Palace, Raiders. Jump into our giveaway, the massive, amazing encounters and places from CZRPG. Huge bundle of encounters and maps. Going for it's a hefty $65 on DriveThruRPG if you're going to buy it for yourself. So yeah, big gold prize today. Jump into that. Welcome in. Good to have you all. Thanks for that, Phantom. And moving over to our cleric here. As Zakan, you are clawed down into the depths below. Finally going to your grave. You're just like, it is time to rest.
Oh, thank God, I'm so tired. Take me away from these children.
No, staying with the children, that's the problem. Okay, you seem to be beckoned forth to stay on the surface world here, Zakan, as 500 feet above this clearing in the forest here, a gigantic symbol of Elistrai appears in the clouds above Lurkwood.
Terrifying. Probably fine. Do I get like divine inspiration from that?
Right? I'll say, let's see, clerics. Have you used any of your channel divinities?
I mean, I am probably about to.
I'll say the next, if you haven't used one already, then the next one's for free.
There we go. Nice.
Ooh.
And Elora Illustris. Next to you, as if preparing like a bouquet of burial flowers, but a little bit more elaborate. Off just to the side of you, as you're being dragged down into this earth, an oddly comfortable-looking shrub springs up around you and the sprite, and it is big enough to heavily obscure a medium creature. So just a makeshift hiding place appears. So if you wish to hide,
I would love to hide right now, but I'm being.
You can do the thing where you're gonna like tiptoe around like with the bush.
It's like the solid snake box.
Yeah, exactly.
Alora, just close your eyes. Fly away.
Okay.
I can
now,
only fall. I can't fly because John wouldn't let me.
Remember, we changed that. We changed it.
Oh wait, I can fly.
Yes.
Oh wait, I can glide. Right.
No. It's we decided because you can't see, so it's going to be quite dangerous to do it. You can't actually fly. Yes. Right. Okay. I need each of you to make a choice. Would you like to make an acrobatics or an athletics check as these ghosts try to grapple you down into the depths of their tomb?
Acrobatics.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
Well, let's see, with my -1 strength, I'm gonna go acrobatics.
Okay. Kayla, you going acrobatics?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I have to choose either one? If I do, it's gonna be athletics.
Okay. Right. So let's go across the overlay there. Alora, give me an acrobatics check.
17.
Okay, against a 5, you slip from the child's grasp. And she's like, "No, play, stay and play," and just whoosh down into the earth and disappears. Kayla, what's your athletics?
24.
Okay, against a 14, the child is pulling very strongly, stronger than average, like pulling you down. You're starting to break the surface of the soil, and you're like, and you see this symbol of Illustralia in the clouds. You're like, not today, and you pull yourself from its grasp as its fingertips disappear beneath the soil.
I trusted you, and just stomp the dirt.
You were the chosen one. No, Corbin, giving that acrobatics.
Okay, that is a 12 plus 5, which is 17.
17 against a 5 on their part. You also managed to slip.
Just they try to come out and it's just me using my hand to smush their face back. No.
But
No.
we can play forever and ever.
I didn't want to play with you in the first place.
And Zakan, your acrobatics, please.
That
give me one crap one.
That was a 16.
Oh god damn it. I mean, this was beatable though. It's beatable, potentially.
It is, yeah.
7.
They are children and non-corporeal.
Yes, indeed. You also managed to slip free, and none of you are, quote-unquote, buried alive.
Go to rest, child. And I think they, stomp their staff.
Indeed. Okay. Now.
Is everyone all right?
Looks like they had some other agenda and they wanted us to come with them.
The next time I see a small child, I'm going to kick it.
This is why I don't do favors.
Okay, let me remove.
Team maternal energy, Alora. What do you mean you need water, tiny Satan?
No.
Wow,
Don't need any of that. Yeah, you're more forgiving than I am. Looks over Webster, Shikurshio. It looks like you have
No,
more
these are
energy to give
different.
than I
The problem is you are a good. You're all like barrow to barrow is like 100 feet or so. So
We're yelling. I feel like we know we're yelling.
now, as you shake off the ghostly embrace of the Mylings, the various the plant-like zombies and things, and the little children of the briar, and the massive shambling mounds, and the ghostly shadows starts to drift towards each of you, and you each quickly find yourself on a little island atop your burial mound, and the forces of the Briar King are massed in the clearing around you. What do you do?
In my defense, they were innocent, and I really thought we were going to help them. I didn't think they were going to lead us into a fucking trap.
Oh no, it's almost like I have been warning you this whole time to not talk to creepy little fucking children.
I'm sorry, I've never been up here before. What the hell was I supposed to do?
Listen to me the first time, you little...
One of the large vine-like zombie creatures just comes forward and shoves, just moves a massive hand, just sweeps a path through the smaller creatures.
Head for the center.
Trespass here. You will be assimilated. And they just start swarming up the barrows. What do you do?
It's like there's a medium-sized bush here for me to hide. I know where I'm
Hey,
going.
look, a bush.
It's like it was placed here right
Get
for me.
into the bush.
Alora, it says in the wild magic thing, it springs up around you, and you are heavily obscured. So yes, you are invisible to the eye. They're like
Could
they,
just chill there.
they assume it's like the ghosts only consumed your friend. The three of you will join us. Alora's just like,
Just in the bush.
See how this plays out.
Oh yeah, Laura.
Laura, where'd you go?
So,
Real
What'd you
quick,
do?
before we get into too much, I know this is a family.
in the middle of an army. Before we get into too much, yes.
Before we get into too much, and I know this is a family channel. Can I lay on hands myself? Can I lay myself, John?
Could you please find a bush to hide yourself in as well, please? No. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That other one's already taken.
Okay. Shoot.
Yeah, just an elven boot just goes like, get your own.
And then I go. My roll 20 is all shot, so I'm going to trust that you guys can move it for me.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, you can't move. You can't leave. You are surrounded by the Bry King's forces completely.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I gave myself 20 HP, by the way.
No problem.
And
So,
probably
whilst Kayla's doing that, Corbin, Zakan, what are you doing? There will be no roll involved. You will be grappled and dragged off to the palace.
Oh, so is this just how dramatic are we making this, or can we do something?
You can do something, of course.
But you just said we're gonna get dragged off anyway.
If you don't do something.
Oh, if you don't do something.
Yes.
All right, no, that's cool. That is awesome. Just
The palace is where we're headed, right? I mean, that's the goal.
yeah, but not like this, homie. Not like this. This is
We wanted to
could only
sneak
work
in
out
there.
Not much of an option anymore.
technically.
oh god dang it. Fine. I'm gonna do. Who's the closest to me?
Like of the others.
Yes.
A bush. But the next visible friend is Kayla.
Okay.
But he's about 300 feet away.
300?
We're very far apart from each other. Okay.
Yeah. Like burial mound to burial mound is like 100 feet. Like the center
set
palace.
up.
The center palace is like 100 feet across.
It's almost like John set us up.
Yeah, it's almost like this is done on purpose.
You could have killed the ghosts in the forest.
I wasn't there for
said
that one,
multiple
John.
times. No, don't kill the children. I was
Ellie.
told multiple times. Okay.
I thought I'd lost it for a second. I thought you were gonna go one by one, and just one of you was gonna get almost dragged down. And you're gonna twig what's happening. Hey,
But I tried.
it was so close. It was very close. Nearly
It's way
happened.
more dramatic.
True.
You gotta choose drama.
Always choose drama.
Exactly, which is why I'm going to cast Flame Sphere and start just barreling and setting these things on fire.
Oh wow.
You keep doing things to make me angry. I was sent to a monastery to be trained how to chill out. And y'all keep putting me in situations where I can't do that. So let's go.
Okay. So, Kalo, Zakan, you see Flame Strike?
Flame Sphere.
Same sphere. Okay, so what does that look like? Is it in front of you, or is it around you?
It depends on where I center it. I'm looking at the map now to see where I would put it, and I kind of want to put it in the middle of me and whatever the hell that bush is. Well, no. So 5, 10. I'm gonna put Charcutio where I would like for it to be.
Yes, no
But
problem.
this isn't where Charcutio is.
No problem. Yeah.
Um.
Okay, so Corbin just gestures down from the top of the burial mound, and what is
Yeah,
it?
because like I want it to be somewhere in the middle of where Kalo is, because I want to kind of start moving them out the way so we can start regrouping.
Okay. Does it stay in place? Is it like a persistent thing?
To read it out loud,
Thank you.
it says.
So this will also be something that's easier when we're in roll 20. You can just share it in chat.
No problem. A 5-foot diameter sphere appears in the unoccupied space of your choice within the range and lasts for the duration. That duration is up to 1 minute. Anything within Within 5 feet of that sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
Mhm.
Creature must take 2d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful save.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I can move it up to 30 feet. And then
Okay.
the creatures have to do the save as they enter.
Okay.
It's
So-
the destruction path.
We're theatre of the minding this. So you do that, and you every 6 seconds you're kind of like moving it back and forth, and slower creatures are being burnt up and destroyed. Others are jumping out of the way, and then but as you move it away, the space that it left is filled again. By other creatures. And Zakan, what you doing?
Yeah, I hopefully Zakan is taking that empty space seconds to run towards us.
I mean, it's you can't clear that whole space between you and Zakan.
No.
To get my theater of the mind correct, this is an entire army.
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool,
I mean,
cool.
so you're sending it over to Zakan, and then Zakan, you're kind of like shadowing the flame back towards
Follow it
Corbin.
as I clear a space, a path for them to get over to us.
Did you do that, Zakan?
Sorry, you have to run over charred bodies, but I need you clear now.
Yeah, sure. I think what they'll do is like they glow,
Give away opportunity
and
attacks, so.
fade a little bit like out of physical existence, and I'm going to use bonus action Zephyr Strike, which will let's see, I believe it gives me double movement speed as well as not provoking opportunity attacks.
Nice.
So I guess we can sort of call that like, with the path that Corbin is clearing,
Yeah.
and with that going on.
So yeah, with the
I
fire,
think-
the fire caught the pass, and then moving too fast for the others, the ones that dodge out of the way that could possibly grab you or attack you. Yeah, you just dart across. You can put yourself on Corbin's mound there.
Yeah, and on the way by, they just yell out to Kalo, follow me, regroup.
Working on it.
Elora, an inquisitive child of the briar, one of those little thorn creatures, like comes like exploring into your bush, and I just got this image. You just grab it and just like snap it in half.
And like while running through, presumably with like Kalo nearby and dodging this army and stuff, be like, has anyone seen Elora?
I
It's
thought
like,
you had her
oh.
last.
I have to leave this bush.
That kind of
now.
leader looking one is just like, your friend is lost, buried forever.
I imagine like Charcuterie is like flying around, like spitting fire and stuff too. Like, I mean, absolute fucking chaos here right now.
Well, that's up to Corbin, because I mean they would be brought down eventually. So if you want to keep them close, Corbin. Charcuterie.
No, I would send Charcuterie up.
Okay, he will be brought down eventually. He would kill a bunch, but he would be captured. I cannot overstate how many of these things there are. Massed forces here.
Yeah, if I was under the impression that we were gonna run away. Or are we all gonna get captured and then brought back?
I think
So
we're regrouping first on,
so
on the buns
yeah,
now.
so
Yeah,
Khan-
on my mound, but then it's kind of like so that we can get captured as a group instead of separated and taken to separate places.
now when
so we
Zakan,
can get the heck out of here.
so Corbin, once Zakan arrives, do you do the same for Kayla?
I thought
Okay.
Kayla was jumping in behind her.
Okay, that
Yeah,
could work.
he
Yeah,
is.
so you went by and picked him up on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Kalo listened to Zakan's call to
Gotcha.
come on.
Gotcha. Okay, so so all of you are on that one mound there with Charcuterie and Webster, and the creatures are all just massing around you like a rising tide. Of
Doing our
rain.
back-to-back Avengers thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
basically.
The image is amazing, right? Just the five of you with the pets there on the top of this mound, and just this wall of vine and bone and claw and thorn, just like rising up, and then the fireball whooshing around. Now, Corbin, it's only lasts for a minute. It's going to run out. What do you do?
Okay, well, there's one other thing that I could do, but if the whole point is for us to be in a situation where we're gonna get dragged off, I would prefer to do that than waste my spell slots.
Can you, Corbin? Can you give me an intimidation check, please?
Sure.
There is a potential way out of this.
With advantage because
Oh,
of the fire.
Ah,
Cool.
so with advantage.
Yes. He's using fire.
Kayla and Zakan just fighting and blasting off radiant holy energy and shit.
If one
Just see
comes
like
close
moonbeams.
enough.
There's another way out of this. It's going to sound stupid, but if we're quick and we just follow Alora, I think we should be okay.
With
Wherever
advantage,
Alora
I
is.
rolled a 16 on that intimidation.
A 16? Okay. So you managed to the fire lasts for a minute, and then so I rolled a 13. So you got 3 extra on me. So you've got 3 minutes before so it finishes, and then they wait 2 minutes before they realize it's not coming back, and then they will attack. So what do you do in that? What do you do in that 10 minutes?
Other than fall on my knees for a second because. Okay.
How'd you do this? Illustrate, please.
That's where they are kind of like looking around at the group of their friends, because they're like, okay, I've been following all of you. We're doing this thing and we're supposed to be saving the people.
Corbin Chakusha's got their kind of wings like protectively out, and they're just their long snake-like neck is whipping back and forth, just like little puffs of fire, like keep driving them back.
Turn into a giant and start drop kicking people unless someone tells me otherwise.
Like looking around the mound, I mean, it's just like army as far as we can see, right? Like any escape route, that it's not like just in front of us, it's behind us, it's around us.
Yeah,
it's
the burial mound is surrounded. Yeah, you're on an island in the sea of
and
monsters.
then there's like the big guy, right? And then there's like the
yeah, just like this
several
massive
big
one
guys,
with
I
like
think.
this kind of like half like rusted bronze helmet. It looks like they used to be one of the people interred in the burial mounds.
But he doesn't look like he's anybody's in charge. He just looks like
It's
a
not.
big
It's
thing
not
of
the
muscle.
Briar King, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah. But nobody here looks like they're in charge. They're just a bunch of.
I mean, he's the one bellowing commands at the others and telling them to get in there and like seize them so that you can be transformed.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Alora, you can fly, right? What if we give you a distraction?
She's not
If
there.
I use-
She's not there.
Well, okay, well, everyone made it sound like I was there, so I imagined I flew over while the fire was still clearing a path. So
Okay.
kind of fly over and be like, doesn't this feel familiar? This is a familiar feeling of being way in over our heads. What are we supposed to do right now?
Actually, Laura, as you did that, as you closed your eyes and rose up, I think Chakushio saw that and took up, and then just like you like put one hand on his back and like, flew together down
Beating
there.
eye dragon. Once you're brought over, does everything get bigger with you when you get bigger?
When I get bigger?
It's like they're talking to themselves, but also that weird GM voice in the sky. When you enlarge, does everything enlarge with you?
Enlarge the enlarge reduce spell.
Mm-hmm.
I believe equipment 2. Let me double check for you.
Yeah, I think it's anything on your person.
There you go. Let's have a look here.
So at the moment, basically, we've like fought them to a standstill, and it's that sort of like weird calm where like they can't take us easily, but they're regrouping. We've got a couple minutes.
Here's an idea.
And I'm just kind of like, as my party, I am saying out loud.
It says, yeah, the target's weapons also grow to match the new size.
Awesome. I just need to know, is it worth me using my spell slots right now to actually fight these things? Or should I save my strength? Because if not,
I think.
I am about to go really hard on these guys, and I hope you stay behind me.
Save your strength. I think we are meeting the Briar King one way or another. And we can do it as captives, half beaten to death, or as something like equals.
So then tell me the truth. Out of all of us, who's the strongest?
Probably you or Kayla, honestly.
Noted. And then I'm going to call Sharkushio down and hold him. because if I'm getting taken, they're not separating us. And I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
We're just giving up like that.
Not giving up. We're trying to play a strategic thing where they take us inside.
If we can get to the king, we can maybe put an end to this, or we can die on this mound.
Ah, see.
Or we can leave.
We could.
Ooh.
Technically, Alora could.
Repose on all of us. Can we technically not be assimilated because we can't be changed for the next 10 hours until I break the spell? 10 days. I mean, we can't rot. We physically can't. The spell won't last. So if I cast that on us and let them take us so we can be assimilated, can we just pretend like we are?
The problem is you cast that on a corpse.
Look, I'm trying. That's why I said.
I mean, Corbin's gonna kill me on the way through anyway, so just assume it's fine.
It's gotta look real, Kalo. Oh, no.
I'll see you in a week. See you in a week, buddy.
Gracie, it's right. Oh gosh, look, Corbin's freaking out, and unless anybody says anything, they're just gonna keep throwing out wild ideas.
Daniel Day-Lewis just comes running and says, just stay unalive. I will find you.
Right? I will continue to raise through this until I am completely out of energy and then throw myself at them for you to get away. That is what I'm willing to do. But if we're all
Our
just
whole
gonna
point
stand
of
here,
coming here was to confront the Briar King.
so you idiot, they yell as loud as they can to the big guy. Take us to your stupid king.
Emphasis on the stupid.
Lay
But
down.
the last time I did this, it worked, and the guy got so mad he took us to the queen.
Lay down your weapons.
Your mom's a bitch.
Fuck you, and the Neverwinter was.
So he bellows for you to lay down your weapons.
No,
They just lay down.
absolutely not.
I am a weapon, you idiot. They lay down. You're not helping anything right now.
Zakan will plant their glaive into the ground and call out, like, sort of eyes ablaze. If you will take us there, then we will. But the moment you attack, you will regret it.
I am going to do one thing, like, as I lay down, because I'm like I want to bring a lot of attention to myself and not to what I'm kind of like whispering for Alora to do. I would like to shrink Alora's swords so that she can hide them in her mouth. I would like to shrink Alora's swords so that you can hide them in her mouth. You can pick one and like make a show to put down the other, but the other one is going, oh.
Yeah, I think like Zakan is turning back to the group to basically say something like, any visible weapons lay down.
Yeah.
The rest of them. Oh, all right. Yes, that.
Again, Chakusho kind of like shuffles to the edge, just spreads his wings to hide everything that's going on.
It's like nothing to see here, guys. It's nothing to see.
Can we shrink everyone's weapons?
I don't know. We'd have to put them all in the middle, and we'd have to make a show of putting some weapons out because he said put them down, and they've only seen me use magic. I haven't used any of my other weapons. You hit the bush. Like,
can I use my sleight of hand to try to very quickly assemble everyone's weapons behind Sarkishio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
can
I was just double checking Corbin.
assist?
Just double checking the spell, Corbin. It's that you cause a creature or an object.
Ha ha.
Good mark.
Yes.
Angelic might.
Can I assist Alora's sleight of hand by like sort of just approaching this main guy like and glowing as like sort of vibrantly and
So,
that's sort of dangerous.
Alora, give me the sleight of hand there with the advantage.
Yay.
Okay, well, I rolled it once already and I got an 11, so let me do that again.
Okay.
For that advantage.
Natural 20!
Nice.
So it's a 30!
Hey.
Okay.
There, you'll love to see it. Look at
So
that.
yeah, so
30.
So Zakan just like moving forward with their arms like outstretched, empty-handed.
Glaive very like clearly planted in the ground, not
behind
there.
you. Distracts them all, and by the time they stop looking at you, the glaive and everything else has disappeared. And Corbin, would you like to expend your spell slot there?
Let me go ahead and click that for you.
And you reduce them down, and I'm going to say they would not be small enough to swallow, but you would have advantage on hiding them about your person.
Right, they should be like dagger size, like in my boot, something.
Exactly.
Which I think is gonna be hilarious when you go to get it. Like when you go to draw it, it's just gonna keep getting bigger.
So, let me see. Okay, this fella here, the Briar Bully is his name.
The Briar Bully.
Briar Bully. Okay, so I would like each of you to make a sleight of hand check with advantage because of the reduced size to hide your weapons against his passive perception. I'm not even going to roll a dice for it. It's just the passive. By the way, Zakan, don't get surprised. Misdirected here. He's called the Briar Bully, and he's the largest one, but he's a small plant.
Oh no. I think part of the other purpose
small...
in approaching him first is to see if he pulls something.
What's the term? Is it a short king?
He's a short king.
He's a short king.
That was a dirty 20.
Nice. You were successful.
Yeah, basically Zakan wants to go ahead and go willingly with this person, and if all of a sudden they get attacked by a whole bunch of shit, they want the rest of the group to be able to deal with that.
Okay. Elora, your sleight of hand?
21.
Okay, success. Kayla?
13.
13. Okay. Corbin?
My sleight of hand.
With advantage?
With advantage. The first one was 18 and with advantage. The other one's a nat 20, 25.
Nice. Okay. So, all of you start to hide away these miniature weapons. A large tendril from a nearby shambling mound lashes out violently and suddenly, wraps around Lady Silverhair, and drags it from your grasp, Kayla. And then the Briar Bully comes up to you, Zakan, is like, "Hey! What trickery is this? The stupid one was trying to hide something."
That's Mr. Stupid One.
Oh, wait.
You will all join the Thorn King's armies. And then he just and gestures, and then just this surge of creatures just comes up around you, and you're almost crowd surfed, down the thing towards the entrance to the palace itself. Now,
I think when that happens, Alora uses her sleight of hand to give Kalo her Moonblade.
Okay, I'll stick with that roll from just before. That's fine.
Thanks, Alora.
Don't lose this one.
Try not to.
Okay, and I shall bring you up here. Now, this map is the right size. As you are transported up here to the palace. Now, let's get rid of that. And get rid of this. Oop. Okay, so as you are, just dragged and almost kind of beaten and bludgeoned around as these all these clumsy plant creatures and nasty jabs from thorns and spiky fingers just drag you off the burial mounds towards the massive thorn palace. You see in front of you the entrance to this massive growth here. Corbin, you realize from your studies at the monastery and the interest that your monastic order has in all things kind of shadowy and of the shadow realm, these plants that this palace is made from, these are something called black briars. And they are not usually found on the material plane. They usually only grow in the shadow realm. And you know that the barrier that they manifest is both here on the material plane and in the ethereal plane. So there's no sneaking through on the ethereal plane, as Phantom hopes to do on Friday. But more about that later. And that scream comes from inside. You just hear those kind of voices. As let's see here. As you move towards, there's a mass of tight vines, kind of all meshed together where the doorway is, interlocked with spines and thorns, and there are a couple of the kind of vine zombies guarding the front there, and you are ferried in that direction with various of the creatures just pushing you along, and even like they're like clammy, kind of cold flesh hands are on you as well, but also tendrils are kind of coming off them and like wrapping around your arms and like securing you as you are moved forward there. And as you make your way inside, you can see that the floor as well is carpeted with thorns, and you have to move quite carefully to avoid hurting yourself. Ooh. Sorry, there's an abrupt switch there, sorry. As you enter into the palace itself, you start to hear a chanting of many, many voices emanating from along the corridor and also through the vines and the mesh of the walls on either side. Let's see. Yes, you are dragged to a chamber let's see here. So let's put you here as a con. So you're not right next to each other, because there's creatures between you. Let's put you there.
Can I prepare a spell for just hold on to it if shit goes south?
Yeah. Does it have any material components?
And let me see. I don't think so. And I also have that thing where any material components can be my holy symbol instead.
Well, that's the problem. You have a distinct lack of holy symbol.
Oh yeah, I don't have my staff, do I?
Mm-mm.
In that case, no.
So yeah, anything that's verbal and semantic is okay, but material is a problem. Yeah. Now,
that's it.
As you now, Zakan and Corbin, you have eyes on, but all of you see this as you are processed past. You can actually go southeast if you like, and see what you can see. You see this vast kind of chamber inside the Thorn Palace here, and there are hundreds of children of the Briar crouched all over the floor like a moving carpet, swaying and clicking as one, and it's them that are chanting over and over. So crank that up a little bit.
Well, this sucks. I think it's Kayla saying that, bound behind everybody. Are we all doing okay? Oh no,
Do we look okay?
no, but relatively for us. I mean, are we doing okay? For the gnome.
We will see an end to this, one way or the other.
And, quiet! And just like the vines like slap you across. Be still.
It's a good point. Are we bound, or since we went kind of willingly, are we just being shuffled?
No, I mean
along?
bound by the tendrils and the vines that are on these creatures are also wrapped around you. Yeah.
Mm.
Please,
So, yeah.
sir, may I have another? And I'll just spit on the one next to me.
Oh. This is silly elf. Water only gives us sustenance.
Well, good. You can grow and actually hurt me for once.
And as you're ushered past this room here, you can see that blood drips from the ceiling as you glance up towards the dome of the ceiling above. There are bodies tangled in thorns in the ceiling, and of all of the little children at the briar on the ground there, every now and then one of them will reach up and catch the falling droplets of blood in its mouth. And there's a larger plant-like creature striding around the chamber, smacking a kind of long, whip-like stick across the shoulders of any of them that stop chanting. And they just are continuously doing that over and over together. And I think, Zakan, with your passive perception is very high, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. 16.
Yeah. You can see that the emaciated humanoids tangled up in the ceiling there are vampire spawn.
Well, this gets more and more concerning
And they're
as we go.
immobilized with hawthorn roots piercing through their chests. And you know that undead or vampires are susceptible to that and can be held in place by being pierced through the chest there. And they seem aware of their predicament. Their eyes are wide in terror, and their fanged mouths are open in silent screams as they are unable to die and continuously bleeding and feeding the ravenous creatures below. The rhythmic clicking of the children of the briar seems to be creating some sort of magical effect. It's almost like a arcane kind of shimmering in the air above the massive group of creatures on the floor. And the children of the briar don't seem to pay you any attention, nor does the larger creature. It's just focusing on continuing the chant. Let's see here. So yeah, you are... Let's see. You are led around. I'll make it so, because we've got right. It's showing you what you've seen in the past, right? You can still see where you've been.
Yeah, darker, but it's still there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'll make sure I had Explorer mode on. So yeah, you're just brought around through just like this winding, twisting tunnel through the briars and through the thorns, and there's all these nasty, jagged things reaching out from the walls to grasp at you as you are paraded through here. Not all of the army came in from outside. You are outnumbered, but it is not as desperate as it was outside, and they seem to have returned to their maneuvers and everything that they're doing there.
I think as we're shuffling along, since it does look like Corbin's closest to Zakan, if they have a moment where the guards aren't watching as closely, maybe while Kayla's spitting on them, Zakan says in a low voice to Corbin, in your teachings as an assassin, if you want to stop an army, who do you kill?
The leader. If there's nobody to give orders, normally the rest of them will flop around like goons.
They nod. They say, be ready.
Just tell me which one is the leader.
I think we'll know.
Okay, as you each kind of curl around the far side there, you glimpse down that corridor that where I've left you, Alora, but everyone, you saw it, right? You glimpse down that corridor to that side room there, and you see that chamber that you've got eyes on at the moment, Alora, is filled with red-stained alchemical equipment, and there are a large number of desiccated bats hanging from the ceiling, and there's a foul scent of decay and blood hanging in the air there. And there's movement. The rest of you, as you pass by, don't see in particular detail, but Alora, as you pass by, this creature moves through the space, kind of muttering to itself. But this terrible kind of skeletal figure with these glowing eyes and this kind of almost, dry hair just kind of like hanging off the back of the skull, and a little bit of skin left on the skull, as this scary undead alchemist goes moving through the space there, clearly working on some concoctions or whatever there.
Is there something that I could roll like survival to basically remember the path we've taken?
Oh yeah,
very winding.
That's why I put explorer mode on, so you can that represents your memory of it.
Okay, I was like in character, yeah.
Yeah.
Want to remember how to get out of here if we need to beat a hasty retreat.
Exactly. Everyone, you can see. I'll show you what they see there. So this is Zakan's view. So it shows where he's been in this kind of grayed out pattern here, and then what he can immediately see now is illuminated in the lights there, as you can see. Okay. So, yes, you are, as you're kind of whispering to Corbin, you're kind of shoved roughly in the back by the creatures again, and you, let's see, come up around this way, and here, and as you, Zakan, as you get up here, off to the northwest, you're shoved southwest, but up to the northwest there's more of that chanting. It seems there's another room with vampire spawn and the children of the Briar in there. And here's Kalo. Actually, Corbin and Laura, you can just move your if you move your tokens, it's fine along the corridor there.
Okay.
Should go up through the space. Does that work okay? And try not to make it too narrow.
Where am I? Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Jeez. The corridor. Oh wait, wrong corridor. Wrong corridor.
Wandered off.
I wandered off.
It's like, oh, what are you doing in here? scary undead man. What's going on?
What are you doing?
So you're just up and around the corner. There's where the others went, Elora and Corbin.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Okay. So you are brought around there, and the creature in the lead announces your arrival and opens the doorway at the end of that corridor. If you'd like to move yourselves into the room for me.
You move me, John? Sorry.
You lazy bastard.
I know, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Kids these days.
Ask her so much.
I know, Wolf, right? Tell me about it. There, and Corbin.
Well, there.
Gotcha. Oh, where'd you go? You disappeared.
I'm in the room with everyone else.
Okay. Sorry, it's not showing up on mine for some reason.
I'm in my pocket.
Sneaky sneaks. Okay, so as you're brought into this room here, this large chamber, the walls of this room are adorned with umbral tapestries and statuettes of delicate silver filigree. Opposite the entrance is a pair of wooden thrones. The left one is occupied by a severe-expressioned young woman in scarlet robes. Briars seem to be growing all around her, pinning her to the chair. In the center of this room is a miniature forest, seeming to be a tiny model of the entire forest outside. Sorry. Lady is over here. And yes, and also standing at the side is Catchweed, the Thorn King. And I shall show you these two as I think this is a suitable moment to take a moment and take a breather. As I think, is it this one? Yes. Here is the Thorn King.
Oh, what a handsome fellow.
And here is his queen. Zakan, also very clearly a vampire. And as you are marched into the room, Catchweed turns and smiles. Yes, more blood. My queen. And he uses the term mockingly, clearly. My queen, if you would be so good as to make our new guests a little more robust, that they may feed our children in eternity. And the vampire in the chair, staked to the throne with the hawthorn, just turns and hisses at Catchweed. I will tear you limb from limb. Catchweed smiles. Not before this entire land is ours. And as the plant-like zombie creatures shove you towards the vampire to have you turned into vampire spawn, that is where we shall stop for today. So, a massive a massive thank you to my lovely players here and everyone over there in chat. We are going to... It's great looking out. It is a nice map, isn't it? Yeah, it's cool. I like it. We are going to leave things there for now, but we will... Hang on, let me put your Guardian in here as well while we're at it. Away. We will be returning next time to see just what happens here in the throne room of the Briar King. So, thank you, everybody. Last chance, we are going to be drawing the winner of our excellent giveaway for today. If you would like the chance to win the fantastic, amazing Encounters and Places, a huge encounter bundle with tons and tons of maps, the entire bundle, which goes for a pretty penny on DriveThruRPG, is up for grabs for one lucky person today. So please do, ! Enter in chat for your chance to win that in just a moment. Now, let us go across the overlay once more. Elora, thank you for today. And where can people find you in the material plane?
You can actually find me this Saturday,
Yay.
October 1st, on Sumasuda, doing Lost Mines of Phandelver at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, bright and early. Okay, thank you. Yes, good luck for that. I hope it goes very, very well. And Kalo, your good self.
Hi friends, I'm Mike. You see me around in chat. Come hang out on Friday for the first virtual Grey HawkCon session of the weekend with John. We'll be there. You should be there too. Phantom's going to be there. It's going to be lots of fun.
2 Phantoms. Continuing our
Two Phantoms.
Yes, we have Phantom, good, lovely mod here, and Phantom NJ will be there as well. Okay, Corbin, please.
Hi everybody, I am a Buns, and now that I'm done playing Corbin in our game world, I can go back to being a me in the real world.
Huzzah.
You can find me on Twitter at honeybuns, and you can find me on Twitch here at Battle Scar Bunny. I have made a decision, and it's not to do what I said before.
Oh.
October is coming, and starting, let me give you like the actual day on my little calendar here, because it's going to be on a Monday in October. So I think the first one is going to be the 10th of October. I am going to start playing House of Ashes.
Oh.
Right,
Okay.
so the same people who made Until Dawn also have this spooky game called House of Ashes. It is supposed to be very terrifying, and that's going to be my scary game for the month of October. So if you join me over there, you can watch. I am going to scream. I'm going to do dumb things. I'm most of the time just probably going to cuss people out and tell them to back up off me. They don't know me like that. But it is something you can enjoy with me. We normally try to play around 4:30 or closer, anywhere between 4:30 to 6.
Excellent.
I know that is a large window, but life happens, and I gotta let it happen. But hopefully you will join me as I terrorize myself.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, the link is in chat there, so everyone jump over there and give them a follow. Thank you. And Zakan, thank you.
Thank you. I'm Steven. Once again, you can find me on Twitter at Distant Shores. Aside from this wonderful stream, I don't do anything exciting like the rest of the crew, except for work, and we haven't paid for sponsoring the stream, so I won't plug it. But maybe see you on Twitter or see you here next week.
How rude! You don't even get a shout out. Look at that. Sorry, it was when you were away. I was making these for everyone. I was like, it wasn't in my headspace there. I shall fix that. Yes, tall guy. What's the proper name? So I always write.
Yeah, I think my display name at the moment is Tall Guy Steven.
Yes, Tall Guy Steven.
The handle is at Distant Shores. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you. Absolute pleasure, as always. And yes, as Kalo hinted at there, we do have some exciting things coming up this week. But before that, later on today, tomorrow morning, if you're in that part of the world, we will be returning to Ravenloft as we return to our Barovia and Beyond campaign with our 2 special guests still with us, and they're going to be battling their way through pyramids against Egyptian kind of themed monsters and things. And then that'll bring us back to the Feywild for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and then what Kayla was talking about before, that very special virtual GreyHawkCon opening stream as I run a group of adventurers through the Fear and Loathing in the Dreadwood one-shot that I have planned for this very special occasion. The terrible night hag Granny Nightshade is amassing a huge undead army from the Shadowfell and encroaching on the outskirts of Saltmarsh. Will these adventurers be able to meet up with the strange forest gnome shaman Dr. Gonzo and use his newly found mushrooms to slip into the ethereal plane and bypass the defenses of the night hag and steal away or destroy whatever it is that is empowering her armies to create this larger threat than is usually created by her forces. We will be playing through that at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I cannot wait for... No, 8? Is it 8 a.m.? Hang on. What time is my own game? I will find out. Sorry.
7 o'clock, right?
Oh yeah, because I put it earlier than I meant to. That's right, yeah, because I have... It's earlier than my usual session. That's why I got confused, because my usual session is at 9 a.m. Sorry. Yes, okay. 7 a.m. bright and early. But if you're in other parts of the world, Europe, or over on this side of the planet, it is nice evening slots there, and I hope you are able to join us for that. Then that will bring us around to our next bookworm session as we continue. Speaking of the Shadow Realm, we will continue reading through the Book of Ebon Tides. And to round off the week, we have the fabulous Candlekeep Mysteries. Shirley, thank you so much for the follow. And thank you, Only Time Will Tell. It is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. And do, of course, check out all of the other awesome streams that are happening at Virtual Greyhawk Con. Lots of legends there. The legend Luke Gygax himself will be in the joust, as well as lots of other very special guests playing throughout the weekend. So I hope you're able to support all of that wonderful stuff that's going on. And we will see you there. And that will bring us around to the next time I'm playing with Kalo over there in a different guise as we return to the Icewind Dale glacial caverns of the Caves of Hunger with our Hunger of Ithrin evil campaign. And then back here to Out of the Abyss. Out of the Abyss. Out of the Underdark. But in the spot of bother. So, I cannot wait. All that remains for that then is for us to move on here and draw a lucky winner. So, closing up those entries now, everyone. You've had your chance. Boop. There it goes. Okay, everyone, good luck. Let's see who is going to get the fantastic, amazing encounters and locations, places, is going to... Only Time Will Tell! Congratulations! I know they're in chat because they were just saying... Saying nice things. Look, say nice things and you get rewarded. Cannot confirm that will happen every time. But Only Time Will Tell. Please keep an eye on your messages there and we shall be in touch. Congratulations. That is an awesome prize on the offer this time. Alright. Now, thank you everybody. Time to say goodbye for today, but we will see you all again very, very soon. Let's see who's on. Who can we help raid into? See if any of our stream team are going. Let's have a look. No, none of the stream team are on at the moment, but I'll tell you where we can go. Let's head on over to Darling Creepshow. Now, why I zoom in on that? Well, not because she's awesome, and it's a lovely stream to raid into, but also a date for the diary. Next month, October 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be playing with Darling Creepshow as she joins us for a special Halloween one-shot with a couple of generous souls from our previous charity game, those who bought themselves a seat at the table, the wonderful Gilletized from Nathrax 3D Minis, timely logo, and the fantastic Baron Dragonborn will be joining us as we play through some fantastic Halloween goodies from Arcane Library with Darling Creepshow. So do join us for that next time. That's going to be next month. Keep your eyes open. That more information coming about that in the Discord. Jump into that Discord if you are not. There's the thing in chat there. Get all of the information on what's going on. And stick around for the raid if you've got them. Let those phoenixes fly. But till next time, as we like to say around these parts. Oyasumi. Oyasumi.
Oyasumi.